Picture this. You're poised at the gaping mouth of a cavern gouged into the flank of a towering mountainside. The kind where the rock rises sheer and unforgiving, its surface a glistening black, streaked with veins of quartz that catch the faint light like scars long healed but never forgotten. It's dawn, or what passes for dawn in this shadowed cleft. The sky, a heavy slab of gray, slashed with threads of blood-red cloud. The air thick with the damp chill of ancient stone. The sharp metallic bite of wet shale, and the sour, earthy tang of moss that clings in desperate patches to the crags. The wind screams through the peaks above, a low, mournful wail that carries grit and dust, rattling the loose stones beneath your boots. Each one skittering off the ledge with a clatter that echoes into the void below, swallowed by the cavern's yawning maw before it can find an answer. You're alone, your breath puffing out in quick, jagged clouds that dissolve into the cold. Your hands trembling as they clutch a lantern, its flame a frail, quivering spark that fights to pierce the darkness, casting wild, leaping shadows across the jagged walls. Shadows that twist and writhe like specters clawing their way free from some unseen prison. Something stirs within, not the wind's howl, not the rock's groan, but a presence, a weight, a fear you've carried since your first shuddering breath, coiled tight in your gut, your chest, the marrow of your spine. You felt it before, in the jolt that rips you from a dream you can't recall, in the flinch at a shadow that moves too fast, in the cold dread that seizes you when the world falls too still, too silent, too vast. It's not a monster you can name, not yet, but it's there, lurking in the cavern's depths, woven from every terror you've buried, every panic you've dodged, every darkness you've turned your back on. The lantern flickers, its light wavering as the wind bites harder, and a question tears through the silence, raw and unsparing. Are you ready to fight it? Are you ready to step into this abyss, to face the deepest fears you've spent your life outrunning, to meet the shadows that have shaped you from the dark? Are you ready to stand here now, on this trembling edge, and let them rise, let them roar, let them lock eyes with the you fought to hide? Here's the paradox that binds you like a chain forged in the deep, its links cold and unyielding against your skin. You're alive, whole, breathing, a self you've crafted from courage, from reason, from the light you show the world. Yet beneath that fragile shell skulks a darkness, a terror you've caged but never conquered, a fear that's as much a part of you as the blood pulsing through your veins. You dread it, shrink from its snarl, its teeth, its unblinking gaze, your every instinct screaming to flee. Yet it's the key to you, the gate you must breach, the battle you must wage to become whole. How can the thing you fear most, the shadow that haunts your quiet moments, be the thing you need most to grow, to rise, to claim the self you've only glimpsed? How can the fears you've locked away, failure's sting, losses ache, the void's infinite pull, be the forge where your strength is tempered, the path where your soul takes root? And here's the deeper wound, the one that bleeds in the stillness, the one that cuts to the bone. What if running from them doesn't save you, doesn't shield you, but stunts you, keeps you small, keeps you fractured, keeps you tethered to a half-life where you're safe but never free? What if these fears aren't your ruin, aren't your breaking, but your beginning, crouched in the dark, waiting for you to stop dodging and start swinging, waiting for you to turn and face the fight that will make you? Let's not rush past the cavern's threshold, not yet. Let's linger here, teetering on its brink. Let the wind scour your face. Let the darkness beckon with its cold, insistent pull. Let the fear swell until it fills the air you breathe. Picture your day, any day, the kind that dawns with a deceptive calm you've learned to mistrust, a surface you can't hold steady because something ripples beneath. You wake, the room cloaked in shadow, the clock ticking a relentless 4:52 a.m., its red digits glowing faintly against the walls where shadows creep like fingers, tracing secrets you won't name. You rise, the floorboards icy under bare feet, and shuffle to the window, parting the curtains with a hand that hesitates. A world still draped in night stares back. The street empty save for a lone street lamp flickering yellow. The trees skeletal and stark against the sky. A stillness that pricks at something deep, something restless, something afraid. You brew tea, the kettles whistle a shrill, piercing jolt that cuts through the quiet. Its steam rising to fog the glass as you sit with a journal. Its pages blank, its leather cover worn from too many false starts. Intending to write, to anchor yourself, to pin down the thoughts that skitter like leaves in a storm. But the pen trembles in your grip, hovering above the paper. Your mind dips instead. Why this silence? Why this dread? Why this me? And the page fills not with answers, but with fragments. A flinch from yesterday's stumble, a shadow from a decade past, a fear you can't name but can't shake. Work calls, a task emailed from afar, a meeting flickering on a screen, and you glide through it, your voice steady, your mind sharp. The you they see stitched tight and clean, but beneath the surface there's a tug, a memory of a mistake you buried, a pang of what if I fall you dodged, a chill that seeps into your bones and won't let go. Breakfast is toast torn by hand, bitten but barely tasted, your eyes fixed on the horizon while your thoughts sink deeper. A dream of falling through endless black. A voice calling you can't answer. A darkness you push down with a shudder. The day rolls forward. Emails fired off with precision. A walk through a fog that clings like a second skin. A nod to a stranger whose eyes you avoid. But each step drags a shadow, a hum that won't quiet. What's that weight pressing on me? Why is it there, always there? How often do you brush it off? Call it fatigue. Call it nothing, only to feel it claw louder in the quiet, its nails scraping at the edges of your mind? How many days have you walked past that darkness, sidestepping the fight you know is waiting, dodging the cavern you know you must enter? This isn't a scream you can smother with a pillow, not a foe you can knock out with a swing and walk away from, dusting your hands. It's subtler, more pervasive, more relentless. A rustle in the back of your skull when the room's too still. A shiver that ripples down your spine when the light fades. A presence you don't name but can't exile, no matter how fast you run or how high you pile the walls. Carl Jung saw it with a clarity that cuts through the fog. These are your unconscious fears, the dark currents swirling beneath your psyche, the vault where you've stashed every terror you refuse to face, failure's sharp sting that keeps you from leaping, loss's hollow ache that keeps you from loving, the void's infinite pull that keeps you from looking too long at the stars. They're not intruders breaking in. They're you, forged in the crucible of every dread you've buried, every flinch you've masked with a smile, every night you've turned from the mirror because the eyes staring back knew too much. Jung called it individuation, the journey to wholeness, the path to the self you're meant to be, demands you fight them, not flee, not hide, but step into the cavern, meet the shadow head on, weave its darkness into your light, or it festers, pulls your strings from below, keeps you a puppet to its silent will. You've locked them deep, piled layers of reason, routine, distraction atop them like stones sealing a tomb. But they leak through the cracks, they stir in the quiet, they shape you in ways you don't see until the mask slips. That stumble you hid yesterday, the one you laughed off, that's fear's whisper telling you you're not enough. That pang of what if you dodge, the one that made you skip the call, that's its grip, holding you back from risk. That chill seeping into your bones, the one you can't shake even in the sun, that's its breath brushing your neck, waiting. They're not gone. They're patient, coiled, alive, and you're not whole, not yet, not until you swing, not until you fight. But this isn't just Jung's gospel scratched into the margins of a book. It's older, fiercer, carved into the bedrock of being, a truth that spans the ages. Arthur Schopenhauer would slump against the cavern's mouth, his shoulders hunched, his voice a low growl through the wind. Life's the will, he'd say, a blind, ravenous hunger that churns beneath everything and fears its shadow, dread of futility, of chaos, of a world that spins without meaning. The shallow feel it and shrug, the deep see it, taste it, and it bites harder, sinks deeper, demands a fight they can't avoid. Friedrich Nietzsche would stride into the frame, his eyes blazing, his step defiant. Fear's your forge, he'd roar. Face it, break it, let it temper you into something stronger. Or it owns you, turns your fire to ash, your will to dust. Jean-Paul Sartre would lean against the rock, his gaze cold and unblinking. You're free to fight it, he'd mutter, free to step in or turn away. But freedom's a blade. Cut through the dark or let it cut you. There's no middle ground, no hiding from the choice. Aldous Huxley's vision glints from the shadows. Society numbs it, he'd warn, drowns it in shallow tides of noise and light. Radios, screens, endless chatter. Keeps you blind to the cavern, deaf to its call, a sleepwalker in a world that fears the fight. Viktor Frankl's whisper rises above the wind, steady and urgent. It's the root of your meaning. Face the fear, wrestle it, find the why that pulls you through, or drift forever, lost in its wake. Step into the wet, pulsing hum of your brain, feel its currents surge and spark. Picture a lab, its walls stark and white, its air alive with the buzz of machines, screens flickering with the jagged dance of your neurons, your fears stripped bare under a cold, unyielding light. The amygdala, the primal knot of terror, flares like a beacon at every buried shadow, every unvoiced dread, sending jolts of heat through your limbs, your chest, your throat. The prefrontal cortex, the seat of your reason, spins frantic webs of denial, distraction, control, trying to shield you from the blaze, weaving lies you half believe to keep the dark at bay. The reward system teeters, dopamine dipping when you dodge, spiking faintly when you turn, a fragile dance of avoidance and approach. Neuroscience has a name for it, avoidance conditioning. Bury the fear and it grows roots, sinks claws, floods your system with cortisol, a wound that festers and spreads. Fight it, step toward it, and the circuits shift. Oxytocin trickles in, fear ebbs, a new path carves itself through the tangle, a rewiring born of battle. Cognitive biases stand guard like sentries. Denial shrinks the threat to a speck you can ignore. It's nothing, I'm fine. Projection hurls it outward. They're the ones afraid, not me. Avoidance feeds it, fattens it, turns every dodge into fuel for its fire. This isn't a fairy tale or a philosopher's musing. It's flesh and blood, a beast pacing in the cells of your skull, snarling alive, waiting for you to face it or flee it. Rewind the reel of years, peel back the layers of time, let the memories rise like ghosts from the dark. You're a kid again, crouched in a bedroom lit only by the faint, trembling glow of a nightlight plugged into the wall, its plastic shell shaped like a star, its light too weak to push back the shadows that pool in the corners. You feared, the creak of the house settling like footsteps in the hall, the shadow of a tree branch clawing at the window like a hand, the aloneness that pressed against you when the night stretched too long. And you hid, pulled the blanket tight over your head, learned to breathe shallow, learned to stay still, learned to wait for the light. A storm raged once, thunder shaking the walls, lightning splitting the sky, and you trembled, whispered prayers to no one, buried the fear under pillows and promises. It'll pass, I'm safe. Now you're here, decades heavier, the cavern looming before you like a mirror to that night. Those fears no longer whispers but a roar you can't silence, a presence you can't hide from, a weight you can't bury under blankets or time. Jung's shadow isn't a fresh wound. It's an old scar, reopened with every step, layered with every dread you've choked down, every darkness you've fled, every terror you've sealed behind a wall of later that's crumbling now. Here, at the edge of this fight. This isn't your battle alone. It's ours. a silent legion stitched into the fabric of the human thread, a war fought in the dark of every mind that dares to feel. Society dreads it, ads peddle ease, not struggle. Buy this, feel safe, stay calm, plastering over the cavern with promises of peace that never hold. Tales exalt the brave who slay dragons with swords, not the afraid who wrestle shadows with trembling hands. Heroes triumph, they don't shiver. Norms cage fear, lock it away. Smile, don't shake. Stand tall, don't falter, teaching you to bury it, not battle it, to shine, not shudder. Nietzsche's strength rises against it. He'd fight, he'd forge. Huxley's world flees it, numbing it with glitter and noise. Schopenhauer's will births it. Fear's the echo of a hunger that never sleeps, a chaos that never stills. Zoom closer, cut into the flesh of the day. Let it bleed under your gaze. You're at a friend's house, the room warm with the clatter of plates and the weave of voices, a fire crackling in the hearth, a tale of risk, a climb, a leap, laughed off with a shrug and a grin. You nod, sip your coffee, force a chuckle that feels hollow, but it hits, a flash of fear, falling from that height, failing in that leap, a terror you've never voiced, a shadow you've never named. You stir the sugar harder, mask it with a wider smile, but it's there, souring the taste, tightening your grip on the mug until your knuckles whiten. Or it's later, the night folding in, the house you've returned to still and cold save for the faint hum of a fridge and the creak of settling wood. You sit with a dream journal, its pages stained from restless nights, aiming to capture the fall, the fade, the dark that woke you, gasping, but the pen stalls, a dread too deep to ink, a fear too vast to frame, a you unfought, unclaimed, clawing up from the depths. You pace instead, the floorboards groaning, the windows rattling in the wind. But it follows, a shadow on the wall, a weight in your chest, a fight you can't dodge. Sartre's freedom chokes you here. You can fight it, can face it, can step into the cavern, but the fight terrifies, the facing freezes, the freedom binds, free to swing, free to run, and you teeter, caught between. Picture a beast, not a myth spun in tales, but flesh and bone, sinew and snarl, teeth glinting wet in the cavern's dark, eyes burning with a fire that doesn't warm but sears, crouched low amid the shadows. Its breath a heat you feel on your skin, its growl a rumble that shakes the stone. Every dodge you've made feeds it. Every lie you've told sharpens its claws. Every turn you've taken pumps blood to its veins, makes it stronger, hungrier, closer. You've starved it with silence, caged it with control, but it grows, fed by your evasion, your denial, your flight, its form swelling with every fear you've refused to face. Frankel's voice fights through the wind, a thread of light in the dark. What does it mean, he asks. What's the why that pulls you through? But the fear demands more than meaning, demands you fight, demands you step in, not just search but strike, not just find, but face. Let's stretch this wider, peel back more days, more skins. Let the fear unfold across the tapestry of time. Think of last week, Tuesday, a day gray with drizzle that streaked the windows like tears. You're at work, the screen glowing with a task, numbers, words, a puzzle you unravel with ease. But a call comes, a voice asking, "How's it going?" And you freeze, a memory of a fumble, a fear of faltering, a dread you bury under a clipped "fine." You type faster, push it down, but it lingers, a hum in your ears, a knot in your throat, a fight postponed. Or Saturday, the rain gone, the sky clear, a day that begs for air. You walk a path, boots crunching gravel, aiming to breathe, to shake it, but a shadow moves, a bird bolts, and it hits, a flash of falling, of failing, a fear you can't outpace. How many chances have you dodged? How many fears have you buried, too deep to dig up until now? This isn't chance, it's rhythm, a pulse you can't still, a tide you can't turn. Jung's shadow isn't a ghost, It's the shake in your hands, the catch in your breath, the use lost to dread, mourned in every silent step. Schopenhauer's will isn't theory. It's the gnaw in your gut, the chaos in your skull, the fear that feeds on depth. Neuroscience maps it. Avoidance festers, cortisol spikes, a wound grows, fight rewires, oxytocin flows, a path clears. Society stokes it, adds, stay safe, stay still. Tales, fears the foe, not the friend. Norms, hide it, don't hold it. Nietzsche's fire burns, fight or fall. Huxley's noise blinds, flee or fade. Let's dig deeper into the meat of it, the days that pile this fight. Monday, a friend's laugh, a tale of a leap, and you grin. But fear hits, loss, lack, a you unvoiced. You sip, mask it, but it's there, sour in your throat. Wednesday, alone, a letter to a kin stalled, a memory of their strength, a dread of your weakness, a fight unfought. Sartre's freedom lashes, you could write, could face, but the coulds bury. The fight holds you here. Picture the beast again, bigger, wilder, its fur matted, its growl a storm that shakes the cavern. It's not a shadow, it's you. Every thought a claw, every doubt a fang, every fear a fire unquenched. Frankel's why flickers. Fear demands you fight, not just find, demands you swing, not just seek. Make it urgent, now. The cavern looms, your pulse thunders, the dark bites, the lantern gutters. Jung pleads, fight it, become whole. Schopenhauer nods, it's you, always. Nietzsche roars, break it, rise. Science begs, face it, shift it. Sartre cuts, choose it now. Huxley warns, it's there beneath. Frankel urges, hold it, live it. The wind screams, the beast steps closer. Its eyes lock yours, its snarl calls. Are you ready? The cave yawns. Will you fight, rise, weave, or run, lost in its jaws? The fight's there, in the dark, where you begin or break.